Welcome back, and if this is your first time watching, my name's Brandon and I sell men's clothing on eBay. This is day 43 of the What Sold series where I show you my daily eBay sales. Let's not waste any time, let's jump right into those sales. The first sale of the day is this Dixon flannel. It's a women's small. The name of it was the TKO. It took 5 days to sell and it sold for a best offer of $35 plus shipping. This came from one of my many local buyouts for a few collections of Dixon flannels. I paid an average of $27 per item, so I'm only making a few bucks on this one, but there are some that sold for $60 to $80. So it hopefully all averages out to where I'm making at least a minimum of $10 averaged out for all of them. I know it sounds kind of crazy to spend $27 per item just to make $10 per item, but I did this buyout because it saved me a lot of time. I didn't have to source these items, just one pickup, and I got 50 or 60 items. So yeah, let's jump into sale number 2. It was a Peloton sweatshirt in an adult medium. It sold in 26 days for full price $23 plus shipping. Another thing from the Dixon flannel buyout, this is actually a women's jacket. It took 8 days to sell and it sold for full price $35 plus shipping. So number 4 was another Dixon flannel. This one was one of the 4XL ones. Those ones actually have probably been selling the worst. And this one took 4 days to sell and it sold for a best offer of $34 plus shipping. So number 5 was an Oro heated vest in a women's small, and I just noticed that I spelled small wrong. Still sold in 20 days for a best offer of $20 plus shipping, but unfortunately the buyer already got this and they said that it wasn't working correctly. It doesn't have the battery pack with it and you can't ship it with the battery pack anyways, but I probably won't pick these up anymore because they said there was an issue with the button or something, and I just ended up sending them a full refund. Didn't worry about them returning the item since I couldn't test it, and I actually have sold one of these before and had no issues, but I just won't be picking these up in the future. They're not worth the hassle unless they have the battery pack and I can test it. So number 6 was a vintage Eddie Bauer puffer jacket. It was goose down filled, but it did have many flaws on it. It sold in 11 days for a best offer of $22 plus shipping. So number 7 was a Wrangler Western shirt in a men's 3XL tall, a very good size for Wrangler shirts. It sold in 10 days for a best offer of $10 plus shipping. It did have a little mark on the front of it, and it was one of the cheaper, just lightweight, regular plaid ones, not one of the ones that sell for good money. So number 8 was a Tommy Bahama Hawaiian shirt in a great size men's 4XL tall. It sold in 2 days for a best offer of $40 plus shipping. When it comes to Tommy Bahama, the bigger the better for the sizes. This is my first time selling this brand, but when I found it, I looked up comps and they were really good. This Holderness Born is the brand. I think they are partners or sell to very high-end golf shops. So this one was a men's XL for Monterey Peninsula Golf Club, and it sold in 22 days for a best offer of $65 plus shipping. So that's really amazing. So number 10 was another Dixon flannel shirt. This was actually not a flannel. It was one of their workforce shirts, more of just their regular button-ups. And it sold in 6 days for a best offer of $45 plus shipping. Like I said, this is another one that I did pay, an average of $27 for. So this one I'm making a little bit more money on than some of the others. So number 11 was a Wacko Maria shirt. It sold in 33 days for a best offer of $25 plus shipping. I did have it listed for $50. I listed it pretty high because when I looked up, there wasn't a lot of comps, but I looked up the brand, and I think it was more of a high-end designer brand. There's not a lot of sales for this brand, but there's probably also not the highest amount of demand. So I was just happy to take a reasonable offer that came through. I picked it up at a Goodwill for $5 or $7. So number 12 was a John Varvatos linen shirt. This is an item that I picked up when I was in Sacramento. I think I paid $7 for it. It sold in 1 day for full price, $30 plus shipping. I always say this about John Varvatos, but the more basic stuff doesn't do very well. But anything that is a additional factor will usually help the John Varvatos sell quickly and for more money. You could still get $15 to $20 for the basic ones, but when you can stack a factor such as linen, then you can sell it for $30 like this in 1 day. So number 13 was a vintage Polo Ralph Lauren polo shirt. It took about a year to sell and it sold for a best offer of $5 plus shipping. I think it had some flaws on it. After that long, I'm just happy to get it moved out of the store. So number 14 was a vintage Nike mock neck shirt. It sold in 31 days for a best offer of $29 plus shipping. So number 15 was a vintage 80s t-shirt. It just had like a funny graphic on the front of it. I don't think it was anything significant. And it sold in about 3 months for a best offer of $3. So just happy to move it out of the store. It was absolutely destroyed. I probably should have never even listed it in the first place. But after I listed it, it's already up there. So I'm happy to just take any offer and get it moved out. So number 16 was a Polo Ralph Lauren button-up shirt. It took about 10 months to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $10 plus shipping. These more basic polo shirts, Polo Ralph Lauren, even the button-up shirts, just don't do that well. They really need something significant on them if they're just a basic size. If they get to the bigger sizes like 2XL and above, then they can do a little bit better. But I'd probably pass on most of the regular Polo Ralph Lauren shirts. So number 17 was a Polo Ralph Lauren vest in a men's 2XL, so a pretty good size. It took 2 months to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $20 plus shipping. So number 18 was a vintage Etnies, like a skate full zip jacket, and it took a year and a half to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $10 plus shipping. After it's been listed that long, just happy to take any offer that comes through. So number 19 was a Star Wars Hawaiian shirt. It took about 3 months to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $12 plus shipping. I've actually sold this shirt multiple times. I think $12 is probably the lowest I've sold it for. I usually sell it closer to like $15 to $20. So number 20 was another Dixon flannel. This one was called the Bixby, and it wasn't a 4XL. It took 4 days to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $35 plus shipping. So number 21, I was pretty happy about this one. It was a built jacket. It was called the Elite Fairway Pullover. It's kind of geared more towards golfing, and it had these cool like magnetic buttons on it. But it sold in 2 days for a best offer of $60 plus shipping. The built stuff does pretty well. The polos and shirts do decently, but all of the jackets that I picked up, I think I've picked up 3 of them in the past month or two, and all of them have sold really well and for a high dollar amount. I want to say all of them sold for like over $50 within a week or two. So keep your eye out for built jackets. And that's BYLT, built. So number 22 and the last sale of the day was an Avi Kahala Hawaiian shirt, and it wasn't a men's XL. This was one of the ones that was handcrafted in Hawaii. It sold in a month and a half for full price, $25 plus shipping. Usually the more colorful, loud, crazy prints do better, and I only usually pick up the ones that are handcrafted in Hawaii. That's it for the sales. Let's go ahead and jump into those numbers. On October 13th, we sold a total of 22 items for $755.02, giving us an average sale price of $34.32. A bit above average day, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'm shooting to get to 20 sales a day, so any day that I sell over 20, I'm pretty happy. Anyways, the selling cost and the net sales are always a little bit inaccurate, so let me show you guys what they actually are. Actually, they're very close today, so pretty happy about that, but let me jump into the actual selling costs. It was $243.76. The breakdown for that is $74.42 in eBay final value fees, $129.75 in shipping labels, and $19.59 in promoted listing fees. I promote all my items at 5%, and 9 of my 22 items today came via promoted listings. I'm happy to pay the extra fees to get the extra sales. Now, once I take away the selling costs and the taxes and fees collected by eBay away from the gross sales amount, that gives us our net sales of $474.29. We still need to take away our cost of goods, which I use an average cost of goods, which is currently at $11.11. And for 22 items, that gives us a total cost of goods of $244.42. If we take that away from the net sales, that gives us our net profit for the day, which is almost identical to yesterday. So it's $229.87. A pretty good day, and I'm pretty happy with that. But as you can see, I did sell, I think, 3 more items than yesterday, and I still made almost the exact same profit. That just means that these items sold for a little bit less. I think my average sale price yesterday was around $37 to $38. So you do want to be pushing up that average sale price without increasing your average buy cost. That's the hard part. It's easy to go out and get higher average sale price items. As you could tell, I went out and bought a bunch of Dixon flannels with an average buy cost of $27. And yeah, maybe that will raise my average sale price, but it's not helpful if it's not making profit. So just keep that in mind. Like I said, I knew buying that deal that I only needed to average $10 profit per item. I was just doing it because I wanted to get inventory quickly and easily without a lot of sourcing time, because I was going to be away and needed to get my drafts set up for the days that I was gone in Sacramento. Anyways, that's enough for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow for day 44 of the What Sold series. Peace.